So Karen goes to Penn and earns a master's in biochemistry. With his
I'm sorry, who?
Karen.
Okay.
Okay. With his education and the resources provided to her by Penn, she goes on to cure cancer and win the Nobel Prize. Shut up! Penn is proud and advertises Karen's successes. Is it appropriate for Penn to take credit for educating Karen, or to take partial credit for her discovery?
So you want to know if they should take full credit or partial credit?
Yes. Is it appropriate for Penn to say, "Oh, because we taught her this, we look awesome," basically?
No, but she does represent the school, so she
Okay.
should actually be the one to give the school some credit that she got her education there.
Okay.
But I don't think the school should have claim on that because she did learn the knowledge. So I think that she should give credit to the school.
Okay.
Partial credit, not all of it.
Okay. All right. So now, Dave goes to Penn and earns a master's in mechanical engineering. With his education and resources provided to him by Penn, he goes on to join an extremist organization and masterminds the disastrous malfunction of a train.
Excuse me, I didn't just go a little slower. I didn't hear what you
Okay.
said.
He goes on to join an extremist organization and masterminds the disastrous malfunction of a train,
Oh.
killing thousands of innocent people in the process.
Mhm.
Does Penn need to take any responsibility for Dave's actions?
No.
Why?
No, because he has the freedom of choice to do what he wants with his education. They have no say that he's going to be successful or he's going to live on the street and be a bum or a criminal. So they really don't have any say in what he does.
Okay.
It's unfortunate for the university. I don't think it's very good for them, but they really don't have any claim to that at all.
Okay. So then now the final question. Should engineering schools take measures to prevent their students from using their skills they acquire for quote unquote evil? For example, background checks, teach classes on ethical behavior, etc.
I think they could have a class on ethical behavior for responsibility, but everybody has free will to do what they want with their education, or even if they don't use their education.
Bella wanted to join the conversation. Can you say that again so Bella's not jumping in the shot?
I already gave you my answer.
Can you say it again?
Um, Repeat the question,
Okay.
and then I'll say.
Should engineering schools take the measures to prevent their students from using their skills they acquire for evil? For example, background checks, teach classes on ethical behavior.
No, I don't think so at all, because they really don't have any choice at all what people do with their education. It's a freedom of choice. They don't even have to use their education. That they don't even have to be mechanical engineers if they graduate with that degree. They can do whatever they want with it.
Okay, thank you. Alright, so I'm gonna read you guys two scenarios, and then I just want you to just say what you guys are thinking in terms of the question I ask you. Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So Karen goes to Penn and earns a master's in biochemistry. With his education, and the resources provided to her by Penn, she goes on to cure cancer and win the Nobel Prize. Penn is very proud and advertises Karen's successes. Is it appropriate for Penn to take credit for educating Karen, or to take partial credit for her discovery? What do you guys think?
Credit as in like money for it?
Like, is it sure? Like money, like say like, oh, we taught her this, we're awesome, type of stuff like that. Is that appropriate?
Not really.
Why?
Because, well, because some people who could get taught by Penn, they could take it in but not really do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
So like they teach a lot of people, but I mean, if there was gonna be any credit given, like partial credit, but definitely not like a lot.
What about you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not helpful. You guys don't have anything else to say?
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Alright, so now the flip side of that, right? Dave goes to Penn and earns a master's in mechanical engineering. With his education and resources provided to him by Penn, He goes on to join an extremist organization and masterminds a terrorist attack, killing thousands of innocent people in the process. Does Penn need to take any responsibility for his actions?
No, he's just crazy.
Yeah.
A little more in-depth answer, please.
How do I explain this?
Courtney, use your brain.
He did the wrong thing with the information he learned.
Say it like, oh, he did the wrong thing with the information that he learned.
What?
Say it like you actually believe what you're saying.
Oh, he did the wrong thing with the information.
Well, I think that he took what he learned and used it in the negative way, but he could have used it a little bit more usefully, like Karen did, right?
Yeah.
That was her name?
Mm-hmm.
Karen used it for a good reason, and he used it for a bad reason and killed people. Good job.
Okay. So now, should engineering schools take measures to prevent their students from using the skills they acquire for evil, quote unquote? For example, should they do background checks or teach classes on ethical behavior?
So background checks before they enter school.
Stuff like that. So like make sure that their students are going to use what they're learning.
Background checks could be harmless because there's nothing bad can come out of that. I don't think anyway.
Okay. What about like classes on like, you know, what they should use their skills that they're learning for?
Yeah.
I think so, like mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
Say, oh yes, I think that they should.
Yes, I think they should use classes that teach ethics so that they know where to use their skills that they learn from UPenn.
And how to apply them.
Yeah.
To.
Ready? This is Vic Straffolino, and I approve this message.
What?
Okay.
Alright, so Karen goes to Penn and earns a master's degree in biochemistry. With this education and the resources provided to her by Penn, she goes on to cure cancer and win the Nobel Prize. Penn is very proud and advertises Karen's successes. Is it appropriate for Penn to take credit for educating Karen or to take partial credit for her discovery?
From an engineering perspective, I believe that Penn should take credit for offering her some education, but they should not take part in her cure for cancer because that was her research and not the university's.
Awesome. So now Dave goes to Penn also, earns a master's in mechanical engineering. With his education and resources provided to him by Penn, he goes on to join an extremist organization, masterminds a terrorist attack, killing thousands of innocent people in the process. Does Penn need to take any responsibility for Dave's actions?
Penn shouldn't have to take responsibility for his actions. Once again, you could say they are responsible for his education, but they are not responsible for what he did after he graduated from their university.
Okay. Finally, should engineering schools take measures to prevent their students from using the skills they acquire for quote-unquote evil? For example, should they do background checks or teach classes on ethical behavior?
I believe that schools should take class or offer classes for ethical behavior so that the students can learn how to make correct ethical decisions, but background checks would not be something they should do because I don't know. You can
Why?
ignore that part.
Why not do
like,
background checks?
when you do background checks, random things will pop up too, or you could have come from a different kind of lifestyle and maybe you're a different person now. You can't judge someone based off of a background check, basically.
Okay. Cool.